I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, this will be worth the wait. This man is the definition of an underground OG. And he's going to talk about why it's a dog eat dog world and why it's going to be a dog eat dog world against a man that, let's just say, is forsaken. And we're going to forsakenly talk about that at something coming up here at Weekend Warfare. We'll get into all of that. We'll talk about all it took was a wrestling match to put some kinks in the armor of Natural Selections, Jason Storm, the puppet master. I guess after all, who really does pull the strings? We'll get into that. We'll talk about what about the man that, well, is at the top of ROEW, the Nemesis James Taylor. And what does he have to say about what's going on? And what does our guest think about that? We'll get into that. And we'll get into this year as a whole and why maybe this match here coming up is going to be exactly the shot in the arm that our guest needs. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of comments. Maybe we'll talk about apologies. Maybe we'll talk about foundation members here in the chat. But forget about all of that. Now, I know our guest has been on here countless times, but I do have something for him, and he'll say, oh, boy, what is it? No, it's not Anthony Steele coming on here apologizing to him, although maybe he should apologize to him at Rage in the Cage. No, that's not going to be it. But I will have something for him. But since it's been a minute that he's been here on Sportswire Radio, and I know he's been here countless times, but I have to give him that introduction that he most certainly deserves. Because after all, this man, this underground OG, is responsible as one of the founding fathers of not only the All Wrestling Matters movement, not only is the man that hosted not one, but the first two Summer Bashes, and also being the man that most importantly helped build this platform to get it to over 1,500 plus subscribers. I have to give him that introduction. And in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocky, because I see now that our chat's coming in here. He's waiting for it. He's like, come on, Tom, get this show on the road here. I want to talk, and I want to talk about everything else you just said. I'm going to do that right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start this show off in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So, with without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show, a man that was the founding father of the All Wrestling Matters movement, as one of them, the host of the first two Summer Bashes, the host of the Dark Chronicles, a cornerstone of DKW, now in ROEW. He's James Taylor's right-hand man. His name is simply put the multi-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, the legendary, the underground OG Doug friend, how are we doing?
Great. That was a hell of an intro. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, well, I knew you were here, I think, for a cameo a few months ago around Rage in the Cage, but since you've been here last, I've been doing these long war chants, these tomahawk chop war chants. Some people like them, some people are indifferent. I know Dakota's kind of indifferent. I had LA Guns frontman Phil Lewis look at me kind of like, when are we getting on with this? So some people have their opinions, but hey, you are an underground OG. You are a founding father of this platform and the All Wrestling Matters movement, hosting the first 2 summer bashes. So you were getting it, and everything I had, which is the kitchen sink, because I just did my news show. I pre-recorded to get to you. And how are we doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Little frustrated at the way things have gone, but all in all, day to day, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Well, we got a lot to talk about here. It has been a minute since we've spoke with you. It's kind of been a minute since we really got a chance to dive into ROEW. Obviously, Face Off took place a few days ago, and boy, the landscape has changed here in ROEW. And Mr. Kron, I got to get into it here. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you most certainly in ROEW most certainly helped build, Sportzwire Radio. Talk to me about why your brother this time is going to meet his end, and every dog has its day, and why you're challenging him in a dog collar match at Weekend Warfare.
Well, we know the last 2 times we met, he basically beat my ass, but...
Well, you said it, not me, but go ahead.
Well, somehow he ended up in that fatal 4-way against Jason.
Yep.
And there's a moment where I went back and watched it. I pinned him. I had him pinned.
Yep.
Forsaken was pinned 1, 2, 3, but the ref didn't see it. I had the win. I had the victory. I could have took the title then, but it didn't happen. So I'm tired of him involved in my matches. Constantly, he was attacking me from behind. He shut the lights out and hit me from behind with a 1028. Yep. I remember that very clearly.
Yeah,
so I'm just tired of it. So now we're just going to handle this once and for all in a dog collar match. And what better place than Weekend Warfare?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you and your brother, aside from being attached at the hip, I mean, you guys have almost been in each other's way. If you think about these last, I don't know, almost year in ROEW, you guys have been in so many matches, so many different matches. You know, if you think about it, you've had a few title matches for the ROEW championship, and he was involved in them, and you could make the case that you could have been an ROEW champion on at least 2 different occasions. Obviously, you and him were in a match with Jack Delta once upon a time when he was wrestling.
And
so we're watching the match. Yeah, and we're watching the one here with Jason when Jason, well, he still is that ROEW champion. He lost 1 title we'll talk about, but you and him have really, I mean, you've been in each other's way pretty much, I would say, for the better part of your entire time in ROEW here.
You know, me and Jason, like, even before we made it to ROEW, I've ran into him at IMF shows and here. Me and Jason have always had this little burning feud. And if we've had the 2 ROEW title matches, the one-on-one matches, actually one was a DKW, one was ROEW. I won both those matches, but it was by a count out for the DKW title. It means I don't get my title.
Nope.
Then he got DQ'd by hitting me with a low blow in our ROEW title match. Therefore, I didn't get my title, but I won the match. And then I get in a fatal, got into a triple threat with Joe Stone and Jason Storm. And I will say Joe Stone really impressed. I almost thought he had it. He would have pinned Jason Storm.
He's always a trivia in this platform's history. Wrestled the first.
He missed it by a moonsault. 1 move. He missed that last moonsault. Jason got him with the lariat and ended it. That was a great match.
Yep.
Then we get the fatal 4-way. I will say it was awesome to wrestle JX for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, and look at how many people watched the match. We're talking close to 1,500 views already. And
very
counting.
Proud of this match. Fatal 4-ways are very hard to work, let alone work with somebody you've never worked with. And me and JX have never worked together.
Which is funny because you guys have, you've been in and out of locker rooms, ROEW, Summer Bash, certainly IMF, and
I kind of
this
feel
was
like we're on the same side, though. We've
yeah,
always
I think so. I think mostly you and him certainly definitely see eye to eye about Jason. I think you and him certainly have seen eye to eye on different people in different places you've worked in IMF, certainly Summer Bash. So yeah, I definitely think that you and him would definitely see eye to eye on a lot of things for sure.
I'd look at him, and JX is literally like a younger version of me. Like he's got to be damn near half my age, and it shows. But everything that he does in the ring, and look at this. I love this. This was beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. He got me with that cutter. That was nice. But JX is he's on another level. His athletic.
He's
ability.
a guy. You know what? I got to be honest. I said this going back to last year when he and Delta faced off. He's a guy we don't talk enough about. He's there. He's certainly been mentioned a lot on Sportswire, but he's one of those guys who's he does his talking in the ring. So he's a guy sometimes that maybe we need to talk more about, but he's been in a lot of big money matches. Obviously, certainly him and Jason, certainly him and IMF, Owen Black. Obviously, now in this match we're watching, he's been in a lot of big matches.
And JX is extremely good. He's
absolutely.
easy to work with. He's got great athletic ability, and he's constantly improving. So if he wants it, he's got it. I mean,
I always liked him. I mean, listen, and he's been around. He's been around for a little while too. He's been around for 4, 5, 6 years in the underground and the backyard circuit. So he might be younger than you, but he's definitely got experience.
Oh yeah. He's got the experience and he's definitely got the ability. But again, I lost this match, and maybe it's just petty, but I think I'm too focused on Matthew Forsaken. In my head, I'm just so freaking tired of Matthew Forsaken. He's involved.
Well, I mean, this has been a crash collision course. You and him, listen, this is, I think I've said it on here. It's actually the longest standing rivalry of anybody that's in the underground or the backyard, because you guys have been in some way or another at each other's throats and heads for the better part of 2+ decades. And on top of the fact you're brothers, but really, if you think about these last couple of years, right, whether it's been certainly here in ROEW, IMF, whether it's in DKW, your home fed, or Summer Bash, you and him, it's just, like I said, you're in each other's way, and something has to give.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, in IMF, I never faced him. We were actually tag team champions.
You were tag team champions 2 years ago, I think it was. 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago now. But a year and a half. Yeah, year and a half ago.
Yeah, we lost him last year.
Yeah. You got him in February, I want to say, maybe. February.
Yeah, King of the Center. Yep, we won him at King of the Center and lost him at Summer Bash.
Yep.
And we lost him to the Midwest Express, Jordan and Jason.
Yes, we talked a lot about them, but, I mean.
They're still the tag team champions.
Well, I mean, listen. You talked a lot about, though, in your promo on the most recent episode of Face Off, you've talked about your struggles with your brother, and you talked about going back almost to the old Kron, the Kron that we used to see a little bit more. Obviously, your wars at Summer Bash and what you've done in your past life that we really haven't seen as much in ROEW. And why bring that up here leading into what we'll see at Weekend Warfare?
Well, a while ago, if you recall, I had the contemplation of whether I wanted to hang it up or not.
Yeah, you were here about it. Yeah, you got us.
And Forsaken didn't like that very much, and he came out and 1028 me and said that I need to get back to my roots. I need to find myself again. I didn't want to go back to what I was before. When I came to ROEW, I wanted to progress. I wanted to move forward.
We talked about that when you were here last year. We talked about how you were almost learning things that you hadn't really done or hadn't done in a long time.
Just learning a lot of new things and trying to establish new things. And that's the route I wanted to go. And yes, it's a struggle in the beginning, especially when you're in the prestige. There's rules you got to follow.
Yeah.
And of course, that didn't work out. So I tried to go for a title shot for the ROE, and that didn't work out. Then I tried to go for it, and it's just nothing was working out. So I was ready. Like, am I too old? That was my whole thought process. But he would not let it go. He said that I need to find myself. You know what? Maybe he's right. Because after that last match me and him had, I thought I had him in the street fight. I swore I had him. But then he pulled out the 1028 on the barbed wire chair.
Well, I mean, he knows your weaknesses. There's nobody that knows you better than him. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, sure, you've been in the ring with a lot of other people. Some of them are here in this chat. Some of them have lived with you at Summer Bash. Yeah, but he knows you better than anybody, and that's why he's gotten the upper hand time and time again of late. And that's kind of, you talked about this last year or so, even especially, and I think about ROEW, you being specifically in ROEW, and I think that your struggles really are all at the feet of Matthew, your brother Matthew 1028 you, and on top of that, he just knows your weaknesses, and that's kind of why this year you've had so many ups and downs.
He knows how to dig that knife in and twist it. He knows how to get to me.
Yeah, and that's kind of why you're almost at a point where you gotta get one here. You gotta get one here, because this can't keep going on. I mean, every time and time again, you and him, and you come up on the short end of the stick. I mean, that's really where you gotta get a victory here at Weekend Warfare.
Yeah, I got one victory over him in ROEW, and I have not beat him since.
Well, one's not enough, because apparently he's gotten more than you, and you've lost a lot more than you've won, and this is kind of an opportunity here to kind of redeem yourself. And before I do anything else, if you are here, do me a favor. Please hit the sub button for ROEW. We can't stress enough the importance of that. ROEW, one of my favorite companies, period. And yeah, thank you for that. You don't have to do that, but I have to do this. I want to support ROEW, and please
Sportzwire.
I appreciate that, but ROEW is where this man works for. This is the company that literally I probably watch more than WWE these days, because I don't really sit down and watch WWE, but I watch every ROEW episode, and I make sure. So please hit the sub button for them. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like your year, you're almost at a crossroads here right now. You got to get one. You got to get a victory here.
I'm struggling mentally, emotionally. I do. I need a victory. I need something.
Yeah, you need something. I mean, you can't go on like this. You can't go on like this.
You know my history. I got, the things I go through with my hand, my cancer. Yeah. Like, in my life, wrestling is like the only thing that I have. So if I can't win in that, then what's the point?
But that's why I hate to see, there are certain people I root for. That you are like, Jovi's here. It's like you and Jovi, like, you're going to get me emotional when I speak about you two. And that's why, I know I got to be indifferent. I root for everybody, but it's another level when you're here, when Jovi's here. I mean, yeah, Justin to an extent. I see Justin here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Justin a little bit. But with you and Jovi, though, it's different because of just what this sport means to the two of you, and especially you. And that's why I hate to see you struggle, and you've definitely went through that since your return to the ring this year. And that's why, you've certainly had your problems with Jason. I mean, that's gone quite a while. Yeah. What's that?
I still have my problems with Jason.
Well, I'm going to talk about Jason. I'm going to transition to him.
Never letting that go.
Well, I'm going to talk about that. You've had your struggles with Jason. Certainly Cash Carter and Alex Cross. You've had struggles with them.
Natural selection.
And Matthew. And on top of that, you're James Taylor's right-hand man. I mean, you're the guy that obviously he relies on. He needs you to go out there and keep things going for him so business can run and he can do what he needs to promote ROEW. And it's been a challenge. It has been a major challenge. And I think that's why you need this victory here coming up, because
maybe I need my boss man. Maybe I need my boss man by my side.
Well, I mean, what do you think about that? The boss he hasn't been here yet in the ROEW arena. I mean, Everybody asks that every time he's on here.
Yeah,
When
I'm
is the
scratching
boss
my head
coming?
at this point. I'm beginning to wonder, like, James, are you using me? Like, I don't know.
You think he would do that? You think that James would do that? I don't know. I mean, I
I
got to
hope
stick up for
not.
James a little bit on that. I don't think he would
Ah,
use. I think he's got certainly a major, immense respect for you.
I hope so. But he also has kind of left me alone in ROEW to face Natural Selection and Matthew Forsaken.
I mean that is fair, and obviously, CJ has been back, which was we're going to get to CJ. I mean, Jacob
CJ's the
Collins.
only one I've had in my corner.
I mean, Jacob Collins. I
Nope.
don't know where. I hope he's okay. I hope he's alive.
I
I
hope he's
mean,
still alive.
I hope. I mean, I always like Jacob, and I know he's had his struggles too. But yeah, you guys have all had a struggle fighting Natural Selection, and you have been at that. You're the right hand man. That's why. I mean, I just wonder. Do you think that James is gonna come eventually to ROEW? Do you think that?
I mean, I'd like to believe so, but never say never. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, that's what he always says, but. I mean, it's just to me, you and your brother have just been on this collision course. But the funny thing is that you have been in all these major storylines, but your brother, he's kind of avoided the fray. Interestingly enough, your brother, he's been kind of smart if you think about it these last several months, because you have decidedly been on the opposing end of Natural Selection. You have had all these problems with Natural Selection. We go back with Cash Carter in the Prestige Championship, Alex Cross with the ROEW Midwestern Championship, which you would call it the DKW Championship. Certainly Jason Storm here, a man that you have no love for, especially over the past year. And you have been decidedly on the opposite end against these guys. But your brother, he's been kind of been able to go his own way, and he hasn't really had those problems. He hasn't had those issues with Natural Selection. Maybe your brother was kind of smart over these past several months. I don't know.
Maybe he's got a point. Maybe the way he does things is better way. I'm out here trying to prove. I was out. I was out for what, 4 months?
Yeah, at least 4. It was October, November. Yeah, October, November, December, January, maybe February.
Came back January, right? Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like I had to come back and prove a point. I need to prove my worth. I needed to get back in title contention, something. So, yeah, I wanted to be involved in every match. And if Natural Selection is going to come and take ROEW, which is now my home, you're not taking ROEW away from me. And if I have to stop Natural Selection, that's what I was going to do.
Well, you have tried that, but maybe we're seeing. But you know what, though? But we're going to get to maybe that there are some kinks in armor. And I do want to say to Dakota, Go to sleep. Get ready for work. You get up that early. You can say thank you. We love you. And Dark Kron still has your bracelet. I think he still has the bracelet. See, I told you he's got the bracelet. And thank you as always. And I'll see you next week on here when all the IMF guys are here. But yeah, go get some sleep. Get up for work. Please don't miss work. Don't miss work for us. We need you here. And thank you for all you do. But well, don't tell anybody. Let me ask you, though, this question before I do make the transition to Natural Selection. Do you have any regrets on your path in ROEW? Because we've talked about all these struggles. Obviously, everybody in Natural Selection, your brother, all these struggles that you've went through in the past year or so since you've been here in ROEW. Whereas your brother, now I know he hasn't won championships. He's been pinned, by Delta and Storm in these title matches, but he's also had big victories. He's also had the ability to, and he put him in a casket, but he's also had the ability to kind of bang to his own drum. He's kind of been able to stay out of this and be Matthew Forsaken. We're all Forsaken. Do you regret your path here in this past year in ROEW in any shape or form?
I'm not going to say I regret my path because I had great opportunities. I agree. I just don't think I lived up to my potential.
I disagree with that, though. I think you definitely in ring lived up to you exceeded that. What you've went through to get into this ring, the dedication, that I'm going to stop you on. But success-wise, I mean, that's
Success is what matters in the end. And right now, I'm probably the most least successful person in the underground. But
Jovi's here. I mean, so
Jovi's got
had his struggles
more victories in the last year than I have.
Well, he beat Kyle Shelby by forfeit, and he beat yeah. Well, I mean, we'll leave that at that. Listen, I love Jovi, and I hate to do that, but listen, you can look at it though and say that look at what you dealt with in ROEW. Jason Storm, you may not like him, but what he has done as champion,
I will give Jason Storm the credit he deserves. That man is what he's done for the underground and the title, and Jason Storm is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and look at what he did with Alex Cross. Look at what he did with Cash Carter. He put them on another level. I mean,
Alex beat me.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I mean, okay, he beat me, but with the help of Jason Storm. But he still beat me. He's got that victory over me.
Well, so, I mean, listen, what the point is that what Jason has done, not just for his own career, for his own body of work, but what he's done with Natural Selection, what he's done in other companies, the wins that he has, wins over Soldier GP, wins over
Wrestling Matters champion.
Well, I mean, good news for you is I'm going to show the footage of something that happened where he's no longer holding that championship. But you think about listen, Big Man Cam, we've not seen him in a ring since he wrestled Jason Storm. You know, Soldier GP,
almost
I see him. Soldier GP, I mean, Soldier's been on an amazing run. I don't even have to tell you about that. I mean, you think about the people. Omen Black. I mean, man, he got his hand raised from.
Freaking Omen and Jason together. I hate that picture.
Well, I mean, listen, Jason's going to be a topic next week when those guys come back on. But I mean, listen, you have had to deal with Jason Storm with no help. So in a way, the lack of success, I don't think is indicative on what you've done. Let me ask you one more question on this, because you are a veteran. You have done so much for our sport. Have you ever had doubts in this lack of success here, in this drought? Because a veteran like you, I mean, I've had guys on recently. I had a guy on, Maverick, an indie wrestler in West Virginia, not too far from you, and he had a match, and the match, he did certain things with the referee. We were talking about it. I said, oh, that's unlike you, 17-year veteran, you're 20-plus years, and we're talking, going back and forth on it. And I've seen guys sometimes, it gets in their head in the ring when they're wrestling. They do things that they normally don't do. Have you had some doubts about just what this last several months and these struggles in the ring? Have you had those at all?
I think I do have some lingering doubts, and it has to probably do with my age and the cancer and all that just happened in the last year. And I got to deal with it mentally, and not being able to get a decent victory or even get a victory in the ring. Yeah, it's just a lot of stress. It's a lot of mental weight, but I hang on to that glitter of hope that I can still do it, that I can still hang with these kids. You know, most of these guys are in early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah.
I'm mid 40s. I'm hitting my mid 40s. It's hard for me to keep up with these guys. Now, with that being said, All Wrestling Matters title championship here, the great CJ Black just proved how great cardio is when it comes to being in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's
real wrestling talent.
That's a great segue, because you think about what CJ did, and I know Jason at this moment is touting the All Wrestling Matters championship, but CJ comes in here and first of all almost kind of taunts him there with the IMF shirt and all this
foundation
shirt. Yeah, I mean, just kind of fascinating that we just spoke about Jason, right? And everything that Jason has done in the past year, the run he's had. He's now a 5-time world champion. He talked about being the only true double champion, and he might be onto something there. Obviously, a shot at your boss, the nemesis.
I mean, James, if you want to get technical, though, he's a 3 championships at one point because he technically never lost the DKW title.
But Alex has the Midwestern title. But my point was that what Jason has done the last year as a world champion in the underground, we're going to look back and say, you know what, Jason Storm.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, he's got
He's
wins. He's again, Big Man Cam ran him out of town. Soldier GP just beat him. He's beaten JX. He's beaten CJ Black. He's beaten
I
Omen
hate to
Black.
say it.
Yeah.
Storm's title reign it's looking better than Delta's.
Oh, listen, objectively speaking, you can't not deny that. I mean, Storm's held on to the title now. We're going on 9 months. I think it's 9 months.
You can't lie. I mean, he's going to IMF.
And his 2 major runs as ROEW champion. I mean,
extremely memorable.
Exactly, and the win after win. This man, I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this.
I can give him more respect if he did it on his own, though. Why do you need Alex?
But when's a win in this sport? They don't listen. They don't have asterisks. And my buddy Anthony Finkel here.
Maybe I should do that.
Wrong show, Anthony Finkel. We're talking ROEW here, but follow his band Rust Eater. Cody Rhodes. This is ROEW, but yeah, thank you for the comment though. But maybe though, all it took to beat Jason Storm right after this nearly 1 year of dominance in the underground was just to have a wrestling match with Jason Storm. You know, what a clever man CJ Black is, because I don't think any of us had thought about in the last year. It took was to have a wrestling match with the puppet master Jason Storm. I mean, that's literally all it took.
And you know, he's the one that's taught me any bit of chain wrestling that I know or that I have done. CJ's my teacher. He's my coach. He's the one that showed me all that.
I got a spoiler alert. Even James Fury has gone in there and locked up with CJ Black. And James Fury, just for some people that
I actually got to meet James Fury.
Well, I interviewed him.
Last time I was out there, I got to meet him.
And he locked up with CJ Black, and he was taking notes from him, and he was saying, yeah, I really like wrestling with him. I really like going and wrestling with these guys in ROEW. That shows you that this man, CJ Black, he is the 7-star superstar. And I mean, nobody thought about this all this time. Think about this. Jason hasn't been, I haven't seen Jason in an environment like this. And who the heck knows?
The last time he faced CJ Black? That's the only, man, he just.
But he did it with just ease. Think about it. You've been in the ring with Jason a lot over the last year, right? You've seen it. You've been in different locker rooms with him, and all it took was the good guy CJ Black to just have a simple wrestling match. You know, James Taylor comes on here and goes ba-ba-bee, ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-bee, ba-ba-boom with Jason. Almost up and down for 2 years. But CJ Black, all he had to do is go out there and just go like this and just say, you can't lock up, you can't have a chain wrestling match, and that was it.
Yep, and you know what? I think CJ took from the last match he had with Jason Storm, and he knew what he had to do after watching me facing, after Jason Storm faced Soulja, after he faced Big Man Cam. He knew. He studied the tape, and he knew what he had to do to beat Jason Storm. Now we just need to get him in there and maybe for the ROEW title.
But how does that make you feel now? Okay, you got Matthew. We'll go back to the dog collar match in a little while. But seeing this now, right? We just spoke for the first 20 minutes or so, right? Your struggles, right? Natural selection has been responsible for a lot of those struggles. But now, this is the first time in a ring that we saw Jason Storm with rather ease get defeated and knocked down. I mean, he lost the All Wrestling Matters Championship. I mean, I was on here with Omen and Felix Jones a bunch of times when Anthony was in the House of Wolves, and all we talked about was Jason Storm and just now what he's done here, conquering ROEW, going certainly to IMF, Summer Bash, and now for the first time in a year, really, we see that natural selection in Jason Storm. There may be some kinks in the armor, and maybe now that's got to help you and make you feel a little bit better about your future and even seeing a man that has been responsible for many of your struggles. Jason Storm, he's suffered his first adversity here.
Here's a good thing to point out. Have you seen Natural Selection with Jason Storm lately?
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but I haven't seen Natural Selection. I want to say what about 2 months, about 2.5 months. I
Since
want to
the
say that
six
was the
man
last,
tag
and that was what
about a
2 months
month
ago.
ago, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago, just about. We're talking like early June. That's what I thought 2 months ago. So
Is the Natural Selection still together, or
no, I think they're together. I just think that Jason is obviously maybe he's giving the guys some time off. They've been doing a
so
lot
is
of
this
Japanese press and a
maybe a
lot of
good
foreign
time
press.
to start picking off Natural Selection one by one?
Well, you know what? That's an interesting point. I mean, so we know Cash has got the Prestige Championship. We know Alex has got a championship that certainly means a lot to you in the ROW
Didn't
Midwest
Jacob
Championship.
beat
That's right. Jacob got the
yeah,
Jacob got
didn't
the
Jacob
Prestige
beat
title.
Cash Carter?
Jacob got the Prestige, but Alex has got the Midwestern title. So does that make you maybe think, you know what? I get a victory here against my brother in the dog collar match. It's a dog eat dog world. Jason's been defeated by CJ. Maybe Natural Selection eventually will come back to the ROW. I don't know if James Taylor's suspension talk months ago maybe played into this. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure James will eventually pop up on here. Maybe he's just taking it all in right now, letting you talk as his right-hand man, but maybe this is the beginning of where the dominoes start to fall. I don't know.
Let's hope. Let's hope. I'm just thinking maybe their morale's down.
I don't know. I mean, that you could say that, but I could also say that maybe Jason has felt they've done such a great job this year. Maybe he felt that a lot of the Japanese press they've done, a lot of the foreign press, obviously what they've done and giving you problems, CJ problems, Jacob Collins problems, even James Taylor on this platform problems. Maybe he felt that the guys had earned some time off. Maybe he had felt that the guys on their own could kind of maybe study what you guys have all done in ROW, that when they come back, Natural Selection could be even more dominant than that. Maybe that's what originally Jason's plan was. I don't know. I haven't spoken to Jason about it. That's up to Jason, Alex, and Cash, but maybe that's what his thinking was. I don't know.
Well, let's think about that 6-man tag. What happened at the end of that 6-man tag?
Well, the Natural Selection lost.
And left Cash Carter by himself in the ring.
Well, that was maybe they just were saying, you know what, we'll pick up the check, you come by later. I don't know.
Maybe the cracks are there.
I mean, that you know what? Listen, guys, obviously sometimes things happen, and maybe it's just they're
seeing no
focusing on
apology or
different
anything
things.
from Jason Storm. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, I mean, Jason was focused on, he had business with Omen Black. He had business certainly helping him and Soldier
He went to IMF. Where was Natural Selection?
They were doing press about promoting Natural Selection in foreign countries. I don't know. I mean, that's a question you have to ask those guys. I mean, some of them are in the chat. I mean, I could obviously, bring up their comments and maybe get back to you on that. But I mean, I think that Natural Selection will eventually be back into the ROW arena, and they'll get back on their high horses and they'll continue what they've done. But Jason does, regardless, he lost something that he had valued. I mean, we thought he was going to keep this All Wrestling Matters Championship for months, just like he's done with the ROW title. And all it took was a simple wrestling match. And CJ Black beat him in what, 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes? I don't know.
3.5 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that was the quickest Jason Storm match
Yeah,
I've
your
seen.
cardio couldn't hold up there, Jason. What happened?
Well, maybe he's took a lot of miles. You know all about
that
the
baby
travel.
weight he put on. That's what it is.
Well, maybe it was the muscle he's put on. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go out there and all of a sudden say it's not muscle. I mean, he's obviously been working. He's been hitting the pavement. He's been going out there representing ROW, and maybe that's got to give you some confidence. Get a victory here over your brother, then have the ability to maybe set your sights back on Natural Selection, and maybe you'll have some gold again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think maybe if I get this victory over Forsaken, maybe I can get another shot at the Prestige title? Maybe
Well, that's a great question, because Jacob Collins,
title?
I mean, Jacob is always somebody we love on here, and I'm sure he'll figure that out. But Alex Cross, you talked about Alex Cross.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's natural selection. They come to drag out their buddy after they left him to hang.
Well, I mean, but they did listen. They obviously still took him. They got him. I mean, listen,
They're carrying him out after they let him get beat. Jason pulling Alex off the ring.
But he still pulled him off the ring. Listen, we saw last week with Anthony, and I ain't getting into that. That'll be next week. But I mean, listen, they still got him together. But I mean, it's got to make. Listen, the point is, I'm sure James Taylor will figure out what to do. But you get a victory here over your brother at Weekend Warfare coming up. The doors all of a sudden open. Things maybe they aren't so bad after all. All it takes is just dominoes kind of fall into place, and you're the underground OG, and that's why you send a message here to your brother, and there could be maybe gold once again in your sights.
I hope so.
This time one-on-one, by the way, I should add. We talked about this here earlier in the show. You've had title matches, whether it's triple threats, whether it's fatal four-ways, but getting a one-on-one title shot, maybe that's...
I've won every one except for the Prestige title against Cash Carter. He beat me fair and square.
It was a heck of a match.
I beat Jason Storm twice.
Well, but that's an interesting point, and I have a lot of people here in the chat. I want to get to them, and I know there's some ROEW comments, and I'm sure we're going to get to them. So let's do that now. Plus, I got something for you. Zilla's here first. Zilla wanted to thank you, Zilla. But, Zilla, has been a big natural selection fan over these past several months. That's got to disappoint you a little bit. I know James to quote James,
I let the fans support who they want. They support who they want, but she still respects me, so I give her the same amount of respect back.
Everybody respects you. Everybody respects you, I would hope. Sean Jovi, a man who I know has an affinity for you, as we all do. We are very happy to see you here. And hello, he does respect you. There you go. Dakota is here. Yes, we confirmed you didn't break the bracelet. Speaking of people that are hardcore,
sucks you're with the House of Wolves, but still love you.
Yes, we love Ox, and certainly ask Andrew Cato about that. There we go. Hello to Dakota. I kind of had a tongue-in-cheek at Dakota because of the intro. It was a long intro. And speaking of people that, I guess you're sort of on the same side of things in the IMF, which kind of circles back around. A man that was in ROEW, Justin Parsley. Take some dark Kron, add some light parsley, and you've got a real dish of a treat. Does that sound like coming from a dispensary that he got that from, and some cannabis? I don't know, but definitely could be some.
Love parsley, absolutely love parsley.
We do. But but you could talk to him about beating Cash Carter. He's beat him.
Hey.
You never know. And she was on the phone yelling. He pinned him, ref. Thank you.
You know that actually I've been in the locker room with Justin Parsley probably 5 different times. Never even faced him.
Yeah, let's see. PWF, IMF, ROEW, Summer Bash. Which one am I missing? ROEW, IMF, PWF.
Oh, I've been like shows. Like there's probably.
Okay. I was like, okay, well, am I missing a 5th company? But no, you've been
just like 3 shows out there that I just.
Summer Bash, right? Summer Bash.
Been wrestling there.
Rage in the Cage, right? Summer Bash, Rage in the Cage. You guys in an ROEW one together?
I wasn't there, but he was there at the time we were there. And we weren't there at the same time, but at the Rumble.
Did you do Winter Clash? One of the Winter Clashes with him?
I did the very first Winter Clash. He wasn't there. Jason Storm and.
Jacob and that's who I got you mixed.
Jovi was there and Crenson.
Yeah, well, Crenson. By the way, he celebrated a birthday last week. Happy birthday to Nicholas.
Yeah, but we actually met them. The Highway to Hell or whatever, right before.
Oh yes, yeah. You've been in at least I named at least 3 shows with Justin. You've been in 3-4 shows with Justin. You haven't wrestled him. Maybe he'll come back to ROEW. Maybe
he's definitely one person I want to wrestle before I'm done. Definitely.
Well, he's here in the chat. I mean, he's the hall monitor. I mean, so he could certainly have an opinion on that.
I just think our styles would be really good together. I think we could work good together.
I think if you wrestled Cash, you could wrestle Justin. I mean, I think if you were in the ring with
Cash, I had fun wrestling Cash Carter.
I know you did. He's here in the chat, by the way, and I think that Justin.
Cash Carter, C-Money. I like C-Money.
Well, he's Cash Carter right now, and he did want to say "ha-ha" toward you. So.
Ha 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 ha. Where you been, old boy?
He's been doing the rounds promoting natural selection elsewhere.
Oh, he's doing that Japanese radio show or something.
Well, somebody caught on to it. Yeah, follow ROEW on YouTube. Also, hello to Justin Parsley. Yes, he is the King of Palo winner and also one half of the IMF Tag Team Champions. Yeah, don't cry on here. Speaking of people that are here Saturday night that said if you needed help, he would help you. That's Chase Wakefield. I
need all kinds of help against Jason.
I ever asked you about it. He's getting married this toward the end of the month, and he wants to have a wedding invitational. What do you think about that idea? Him holding a wedding invitational, holding a wrestling
super. You're a lucky ass man.
His wife wants it. His wife wants it more than he does, apparently.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can tell you that right now.
I'm going to talk about it Saturday, but he may have to wait a little later because I'm going to not be here till about 9 o'clock. So hopefully he's not in bed by then, but he'll make an exception. Yes, Chase will be here.
Definitely looking forward to that show. Chase has got something big going on.
I always like having him on. He's one of these guys that he always doesn't disappoint. Just like having you on here. There we go. And we addressed this already. She says she stayed up, but if you went to bed, that's okay too. Don't ever doubt yourself. You got wrestlers who were older than you that wrestle. Yeah, I mean, that is true. That is certainly true. That they're, James Taylor is older than you, right?
I'm older than him.
I know. I was trying to be facetious, but that's a great question. But that's a great point.
Now look it.
No, you listen. You look younger.
Oh, I'm gray.
Listen,
I'm gray as hell.
You look younger than Cena. You look younger than Lesnar. You look younger than Roman. I mean, you look younger.
I think I'm older than Roman.
LA Knight, though, you look younger than LA Knight. I mean,
LA Knight's older. He's like, what, 45?
I think he's like 44, 43, 44. Bobby Lashley's in AEW. Shelton Benjamin's, and they're going. And you look younger than them. I mean,
I would love to look like Shelton Benjamin.
I know. Shelton Benjamin, to be fair, I mean, Shelton Benjamin looks exactly the same as he did when he was the Intercontinental Champion 20 years ago. So I want to give him his props. My buddy Anthony Finkel, thank you, Anthony. If he's here, I'll plug his band. If not, he'll say hello. And speaking of the good guy, the new All Wrestling Matters champion, you must be very happy about that. And he would like to say his cardio is definitely a weakness, but his biggest weakness is that ego. And I'm just going to say, that's an interesting point.
And he shattered that ego.
But, it's funny that the tables have kind of turned. If this would have been, let's say, 18 months ago, right? People would have looked at that and said, no way, CJ Black saying that. But if you think about it, the tables have really turned. CJ Black, after all this time, he was all right. He wasn't what people made him out to be. He's gone out there and he's helped countless wrestlers, his wrestling ability, his dedication, the time that he's put into this. And he, after all, CJ Black really is a good guy. And a lot of people didn't believe that. And he seems to be talking about, well, you did.
I did.
I mean, but a lot of people didn't in the underground. But it seems like now CJ Black, he called it, and he called a spade, I guess, according to some.
Yep. I remember I had to talk Jacob Collins into trusting.
I remember Jacob was on here and was like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't know.
And look at CJ now. He's the biggest face we have.
Hey, and you know what? He's the 7-star superstar. He's been rated
front lines and fighting the champion, getting the titles.
And I tell you what, I think, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited to see what he does now as a champion, because I think CJ Black, with his ring ability and now getting a chance to see him here in ROEW as the All Wrestling Matters champion. I mean, I know Jason brought up the fact that he has traveled, but CJ Black, when he wrestles, it's a 7-star match.
That's what it is. He puts on a wrestling clinic every time.
That's why James Fury even looks to CJ Black. Hit the sub button for ROEW, please. But the man himself is here, the ROEW Underground Champion, the 5-time world champion is here to remind you and everybody else, CJ Black, be careful what you put out there. I'll see you this Friday. And he, in caps locks, wants his championship back. Are
you upset there, Jason, that CJ exposed your weakness?
Well, I guess he gets a rematch clause. In the rematch clause, he gets a crack at another
You probably should have
champion.
waited a little bit longer and worked on that cardio, bud, because your cardio ain't getting better in a week.
Well,
Promise you that.
we're not gonna. I mean, I wouldn't be able to elaborate on his cardio skills. I mean, CJ Black, yourself, you've been in the ring with him, but he has gotten under the skin of James Taylor. I'll tell you that much. He has gotten most certainly under his skin, and James Taylor has been very quiet tonight. Not a peep from James Taylor. I see nothing
I'm
from him.
surprised.
Nothing going on here. Nothing
No
about
James
any.
Taylor at all.
No, I haven't seen nothing from him in the chat. Nothing at all from the nemesis James Taylor, the legend. You would think that he would be.
And I really thought he would be one of the first people in here. And what did I say? I'm sitting here questioning: am I just an scapegoat?
Well, that's an interesting question. But you think about that. I've got to make sure, hit the 20%. I already got it. But go buy some ROEW merchandise. It puts money into what ROEW does best. Please support ROEW. There is a shirt for everybody.
Yeah,
please,
some sweet shirts. Yeah.
Please support ROEW. I have many ROEW shirts. We've got a Dark Kron shirt. You got to get that Dark Kron shirt. Matthew Forsaken, don't buy the 1028 shirt when Dark Kron's here, but buy almost all your ROEW shirts. Yeah, there's even a guy that was the ROEW, two of them that were champions that we don't know where they are.
I really like the Outsider shirt. I think that one's really cool.
I own the Outsider one, and then it was we got a different one right afterwards. But I like that. I like them all. I tell you what, I like all the ROEW shirts. Buy them all. I mean, Christmas is coming, the holidays. Get that special someone a gift. Get them a Dark Kron shirt. Get them the ROEW shirt. So please go out there. Please support ROEW. And there you go. See what I mean? And let's get to some more comments because I got a bunch of them here and I'm way behind. Cash Carter wants to remind you and everyone else, Natural Selection runs ROEW. Called you, by the way, very derogative term. Called you an old man.
Yeah. This old man could run circles around your champion. Now that I know this weakness, I'm going to expose it. Just give me a chance.
Well, you know what? Well, Jason wanted to say he was sick, by the way, that day.
Oh, you were sick that day?
It happens. Listen, I was sick twice this past.
What'd you do? Eat a piece of pizza? Did your belly get upset?
I thought he didn't like pizza, though. If the ring was still inside and not 100-degree weather, I would have retained. But that is a fair point. I mean, is there
excuses?
No.
We all wrestled in the same ring, 100 degrees.
And Mr. Parsley wants to remind you of that. You eliminated Remy and I from the tag team title match, actually.
Actually, I didn't. Forsaken. Wait a minute. Oh, the tag match. Yes. Yep.
At Summer Bash, yeah.
Yeah, Summer Bash was also the Rumble that Forsaken.
Yes.
Actually went to it.
He was the final from Justin won it.
He thought he eliminated Parsley. Parsley flipped back in the ring and knocked.
He was the final one eliminated, if I recall, right?
Forsaken was the last one eliminated.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. He was the last one. Yeah, Parsley won it. But he was. Yep. But Matthew thought he won it, and then Justin had won it because he
did the Shawn Michaels back in the ring.
Yeah.
Forsaken was standing up on the rope like bulldog
since Justin's the hall monitor, and I'm gonna help Justin because I do like Justin. Well, we all like Justin. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I have an.
The only reason that we beat him or eliminated him in the tag is because Soldier got him.
Well, now he and Soldier are tag team champions.
Right. I just thought that was funny.
Well, hit the sub button for Justin's YouTube page because he's got his most recent episode, which is a little more graphic for us on Sportswire. But I have gotten requests about Justin coming on to Sportswire again. And I don't know when the Hall Monitor wants to come on. I hope he does soon. But we love him. He's in the Hall of Fame more than anybody else. And that'll be a wink and a nod for you in a minute. But hit the follow button for Justin on his YouTube page because he's got some old content and he doesn't look like that anymore, just to let everybody know. But,
thank you. A little bit.
Well, I'm sure he had to. Watch Jovi's vlog in the most recent IMF show, One Night Stand. But you and Forsaken put me in some wicked double submission right outside. Yes, that was.
It was true. Like, what was it, a sharpshooter and a crossface or something?
and he still fought to get that PWF championship, by the way. Just saying. Hello to Jason Storm. Hello to CJ
I
Black.
think Justin Parsons is one of the greatest guys out there. He's a great
You
person.
know what? And I want to say to everybody, you're welcome, because I was the guy that brought him on here 2 years ago, right around this time. It was like, no, we should keep bringing him on. And he was like, you think I could keep coming on? I'm like, no, don't worry about it. We'll keep bringing you on Sportswire. And that's now.
And outside of the ring, he is just hands down one of the greatest human beings ever.
Listen, he's one of my favorites. I mean,
yeah.
Although his character sometimes doesn't dictate that, in the Circle of Jerks episodes doesn't always dictate that, but he is one of my favorites.
But that's what we do in our business. We have.
I understand that. I'm well aware of that. I mean,
but
yeah.
As a person, Justin Presley is one of the greatest.
He is one of my favorites to have come on this platform ever alongside you. And Ox McCoy is one of my favorites ever to be in the chat. He really has some pretty princess hair. Not that I'm jealous. Well, maybe you could give.
Hate to ruin that kayfabe, but he's a big old teddy bear.
Maybe you could give him some of your hair then.
Maybe I'll just cut it all off.
No, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, forget about it. Yeah, okay, you like both, and Dakota's still up, and she'll go to bed at 10. Okay, so you got 13 minutes, which gives me time to give you something. Yeah, follow RWW, buy merchandise. You are definitely going to hate yourself, and I've done it like 5 times in 2 weeks, get like 2 hours sleep each day.
My schedule's been changing at work. They had me come in at 6 a.m., and now I'm coming in at 4 p.m., work until 2 a.m.
All right. Well, at least I got you here now, so they make me feel a little bit better. You got Red Bull, and you'll be up. Okay. Well, you got whatever it is. I hope it works out. And she's got her merchandise. And hit the sub button for Justin. And I think I got another comment from Mr. Black. I think something that people deserve is a match for the All Wrestling Matters Championship. You and Mr. Black, the 7th Superstar. That's a good point. You and him one-on-one. What do you think about that? You know what? That's a banger of a match. That would be a dream match for many people.
Me and CJ Black?
Yeah, it's a banger. I mean, literally, I'm sure it'll get 7 stars because CJ Black's a 7-star superstar, and you're a 7-star superstar also, pretty much.
Man,
yeah.
I don't know, man. That's the only guy I even get along with in ROEW right now.
Yeah, because James Taylor's not even here tonight. I would have thought James Taylor would have had like 17 comments by now, but nothing from him.
You know what? If that's what CJ wants, then I would be more than happy to make that happen.
I would, you know what? As a fan, ROE, and I got to say this, and I'm not just saying it because you're here. ROE, IMF, and I watch every ROEW and IMF episode I can. I always make sure. In fact, ROEW management, even asked, they sent me the link to the show for the last episode. I'm like, don't worry, I watch all the episodes. You don't even have to. So I would love to see that you and CJ Black, the good guy, in a match, and on top of that, for the All Wrestling match, you're the host of the first 2 Summer Bashes. CJ Black is the 7-star superstar. I mean, that's to me that I would love to see that in a premium live ROEW show.
Wow.
Brilliant!
Like that would be fun. Do you imagine the clinic that would go on in the ring?
Oh my goodness! I mean, forget about Copper Dragon would have to write. And he would do a 10-minute video review on that. His last one, he just did Gabe and Anthony, was 8 minutes.
And that's literally a dream match. Like
it would be. Listen, It would be Copper Dragon would probably review that, and he would do 10 minutes on it instead of 7 minutes, what he usually does. So yeah, I'm all for it, and we don't need James Taylor for that because that's the All Wrestling Matters Championship. So James Taylor, he doesn't have to book the match. CJ Black's the champion. So. I mean, that's another reason why to follow REW. Mr. Parsley would also like to say it would be the Healing Herb's honor to smoke Storm at All Out Warfare for you because, as I'm sure you're aware of, they have the All Out Warfare match coming up next Saturday. And Justin's obviously, and by the way, he's with JX, also in the match, alongside Georgia. And Jason's on the other side with Omen and Felix. 2 men you know very, very well.
Felix, I've never got to wrestle either.
Well, CJ's wrestled Felix, and they put on some clinics.
I would really like to wrestle Felix.
Well, Felix, by the way, is the PWF champion now. I mean, you could
I've
maybe you
seen
could all of a
that.
sudden you could be the belt collector all of a sudden. I mean, think about this: All Wrestling Matters Championship, PWF Championship with Felix. I mean, you know the house will come in. You know, Ox is going to tell Omen right now. They're going to tell Felix, and they're gonna be upset with that. You know, they're going to make sure. So you're all.
I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight. I don't know.
Well,
Got All
Felix,
Wrestling Matters and the PWF.
Felix has been very impressive. He even cost Ace Christian a championship match there 2 weeks ago.
Ace Christian's another name that don't get mentioned very much. That man.
Well, he's now the WDWA light heavyweight champion now.
I've seen that.
Very impressive. Yes, and I'm sure that listen, you and Felix, you the PWF champion, maybe it could be quite a match.
Yeah, that's got to happen sometime. My son's even got to freaking wrestle him.
I know. He wrestled here on Sportzwire. And I would like to see that. I'd like to see a lot of things. Jason Storm having a heat stroke. Stop lying. We all know that you ate pizza. I don't know. And you're also welcome for me being me too. Thank you, Justin Parsley, for being Justin Parsley. He does love you very much. And I'm going to say that you can look at that comment and read it, and you can read it to yourself because I get the reference. We need to know what conditioner do you use? What is your conditioner?
We need to know what?
Your hair conditioner.
What is that called? Aussie?
Aussie, yeah.
Aussie. Yes, I don't know.
AUSSI.
I don't know.
Well, I can tell you I use the same thing every time, Head and Shoulders, 2-in-1.
I used to use Head and Shoulders, but too expensive. I went cheaper.
Oh, well, you know what? Then that's why you just keep...
But I also only condition my hair like once a month.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to move on to the next comment. You got 9 minutes? Okay, so you know what? I'm going to give you something because I want to do it because she's only got 9 minutes and I see a bunch of people here still. And I know you also are a busy man in your own right. So let me do this. Let me put this up on the screen because I have something that you are going to get. You are certainly catching up to one Justin Parsley because you are in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame for being the underground OG now. So there you go. This is the physical copy I'll give to you when we're off the air. I know you've been in the Hall of Fame a bunch of times, ROEW, IMF, Foundation, yourself. I mean, a whole bunch of other times, but it's your day. It's your moment, and you're going to be in the Hall of Fame once again. So congratulations.
Much appreciated.
And speaking of things that you may have a vested interest in with the wink and the nod, Thursday night, there'll be some guy named Hubie Jenkins here. Hubie Jenkins, a guy wrestles in your state, apparently. He wrestles for a company called EWA, and he's here for the first time, and he's here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. His name is Hubie Jenkins, and he's going to be, Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, and he's going to be here, wrestles for a company, EWA, and he's got a few things to say. Going to be on here for the first time. We like having people on for the first time, and he'll be here at 9:30 coming up Eastern time this Thursday, and I'm sure he'll have a few things to say, and we'll get a chance to introduce ourselves to him, and that'll be one Hubie Jenkins here, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time this coming Thursday, and I'll be here tomorrow as well, and usually I'm not, but I'll be here, but stay tuned for the guest because it might be one you might want to tune into, but we'll have to see. We'll have to make sure we have him on. But we got to keep, because this is not Justin's channel, because we've actually had on the big bands. LA Guns has been here, Great White, and we want to keep the gravy train growing and going.
Stuff. I told you that.
A lot of people do. My mother actually will not watch me talk about backyard wrestling, but she'll watch me talk about a band. And a lot of people, I was in a bar. You want to laugh because your brother will break the fourth wall for a minute, played in a band. And I was in a bar, and I don't drink, and I was there watching a band play, which is my brother's, and my mother was singing, and people going up to me and said, you. And I go, nobody had known me. And I go, yeah, how are you? I'm thinking, okay, what does somebody not like? He goes, no, You're that guy that interviewed LA Guns. You're that guy that interviewed Great White and Kicks. And I heard about them, and they were really good interviews. I'm like, oh, well, thank you very much. And they were like, took a photo with me. Boy, I ain't famous, but those bands are. But yeah, it was a great honor to get those bands on. I have a few coming on soon.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, we'll take that off the screen. We're here with the underground OG himself, the legendary Dark Kron, inducted into the Sportzwire Radio Hall of Fame. Once again, my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Please follow RWW. Please follow Dark Kron. I'm going to put his YouTube channel up here in a few minutes and give him some more subs, and we'll talk for a few more things here coming up. So obviously, your road at RWW now goes through Matthew Forsaken. If you had any final words here for Matthew Forsaken coming up before Weekend Warfare in this dog collar match, what would they be?
I already sent out my last words to him. I still have to hear from him to know if he's even up for this challenge or not. But we all know Forsaken, he ain't going to back out of this. There's no way in hell. He'll show up. I'm sure he will.
He doesn't say much. He's not like everybody else. He's not Anthony that's going to sit there and talk for 25 minutes on a promo.
There's a balance. You got to have a balance.
True.
Forsaken don't talk enough. Steel talks too much. You got to find a balance. But I think his days are numbered. He's going to get what he wants. If you guys knew us in the past, before we had a video camera and we were just doing it in the backyard, I'm the older brother. I'm the big brother. I'm walking out. I'm the only one walking out of that dollar collar match. He knows that. Deep down, he knows that. Maybe that's why he hasn't answered me yet. But it's hard for me to believe that Forsaken has any bit of fear of actually getting in that ring with somebody.
He has. Listen, we've seen what he did last year with Cash Carter in the casket match. We've seen what he's done almost everywhere he's been in a ring with. We saw his wars with Omen. How about his wars with Omen?
Yes.
I mean, Damian Satan, Omen. I mean, listen, Forsaken, he's showing up. You don't even have to think twice about that. He's showing up. You don't even have to.
You got to be careful with his games. I don't know. He plays them stupid mind games.
Well, he doesn't have to say nothing because he's beaten you more recently. He's got the upper hand. Why does he have to go out and address you? He has nothing to say. He's going to go out.
Maybe he's going to decline it because of that. Maybe he declines because he's done beat me twice. He don't need it. And then you know what? I can't be mad. But then maybe I'll have to just go to James Taylor and make it happen.
You mentioned James Taylor, huh? Now, James Taylor, a man that's been auspiciously quiet tonight.
Yeah. He's missing. Why is that?
Do you think maybe he's trying to rethink his strategy about what's going on here in RWW? You know, Jason's talked about James's family, and he's just gotten into James's almost skin. He's gotten underneath him, and it just seems
Jason tends to do that.
Yeah, and maybe made James almost kind of push back a little bit. Maybe he's thinking about selling the company. Maybe he's thinking about stepping aside. I mean, listen, Jason ran the company before, and Jason feels he was the one that did everything to lead ROEW, not just inside the ring, but outside the ring to where ROEW is today.
James is the one that got the ball rolling to get ROEW where it is today. No thanks to Jason Storm. But, I mean, I guess I can't really say that because, you know, Jason Storm is our champion, and Jason Storm is the best champion in the underground.
You know what? Listen, I have said this for at least 3 or 4 months. What Jason has done over the past year as the ROEW champion.
Take it away from him. He's the best thing in the yard. He's the best thing in the underground scene. He checks all the boxes. The guy is great on the mic.
Yep.
The guy does what he needs to in the ring, and he plays the part perfectly.
What he's done, and he has evolved, and he's on a level.
And he's a leader.
Yeah.
And somebody's got to stop him. And right now, CJ Black is the one that looks like he has Jason's number.
All it took was a wrestling match. But, you know, apparently I have received word that there's someone that does want to address a number of things here tonight. And I'm going to give them the opportunity to speak with you here, especially when it comes to ROEW. I got Yoshimatsu Matsuda here, and yeah, everyone's gonna say they're the best underground champion, but right now I gotta push that to the side because I have a man here that wants to address you personally, and he has a few things to get off his
Bald
chest.
Alaskan dillworm.
And I'm gonna give this person the opportunity to speak, and I have no choice but to do it. So for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. Whoa!
Oh, James Taylor.
I didn't realize it, but I guess
I thought it was going to be that bald asshole.
No, he said he's not coming on Sportswire for the foreseeable future. He actually said it to his credit, and I will respect that. But the man has been auspiciously silent, but he has decided that he's going to come on here publicly and just address everything that's been said here tonight. That is none other than the legendary ROEW owner, the nemesis, James Taylor. There can't be no other way here when it comes to ROEW. And James Taylor, my friend, how are we doing?
I'm always doing well, Tom. Can we do that thing where you have like all three of us together, like where it's
You want to do it? Okay, some people usually don't like it that way. You're the first one that likes it that way. Everybody usually likes the wide angle. Okay, all right. If you like it, I'll go with it.
James looked really little.
For some reason, the app won't let me do widescreen.
This is not pre-recorded.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let me add to what you were saying. Jason Storm might be one of the greatest things as far as champion when it comes to ROEW and the underground scene, but also he's the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen in my life. I do not like Jason. Jason sucks. Jason is the biggest.
You want? I can do it. Do it. I got the mute button. Do it.
He's a piece of shit. Period. One sorry excuse of a champion is that, he has to find his way to backdoor every single match. He screws over guys like Kron. He screws over guys like CJ Black and any single person that comes in between. Jason Storm is a coward. He's got a yellow stripe running right up his back. And yes, the cavalry is coming. I assure you it. It doesn't matter when I show up. But when I do show up, it will fucking matter. Because when I show up, Jason is done. Period. In, out. He is done. Because I am going to beat the living shit out of Jason. Period.
All right. Let me ask you.
Me.
And he won't be alone.
He disrespected DKW. He disrespected Kron. He's disrespected everybody in this industry because he thinks his shit doesn't stink. Jason is a pure 100% coward. And he's got an ass kicking coming, and I promise he's going to get a beating unlike any beating he's ever had in his entire life. Period.
Let me ask you a question, James. All it took was a wrestling match to beat Jason Storm. What did you think about CJ Black? What we saw on Face Off? All he did was just go to wrestling.
Black. CJ knows. Think of CJ Black as probably the kryptonite to Jason Storm because Jason is a brawler. Hell, I'm a brawler. And you get guys who are technical and really good with their kicking skills like Kron over here. We know what it takes to be a brawler and get in there and kick ass. But somebody like Jason Storm who's barely got his feet wet after 4 years has just been absolutely lucky. And then you get a guy like CJ Black who puts the work in, busts his ass every single day. I think of CJ Black as the absolute kryptonite to Jason Storm. If anybody can defeat Jason Storm, it is CJ Black. And I'm saying it because it's just a fact. I'm not saying that Kron can. I'm not saying that anybody in the underground scene can't. It's just the fact that you got to find that way to outsmart somebody who's a conniving con artist like Jason.
So do you think now then that for the first time, natural selection, that there's some kinks there in the armor? For all this time, and especially the first half of 2025, we looked at natural selection and nothing could get in their way. You famously even tried to fine them, suspend them. Nothing worked. Kron, we talked about his struggles with them. CJ Black had his struggles with Jason Storm.
Yep.
Certainly Jacob Collins did for a while. I mean, because everybody in ROW had their problems with natural selection. But you now, do you feel with CJ now winning a championship from Jason Storm, the 6-man tag where CJ, JX, and Kron were successful, that now for the first time we're seeing some kinks in the armor of natural selection? What is your thoughts on that, James?
Well, yeah, there's a couple of kinks already. Let's look at the past couple of weeks since the show started. Where the hell's Alex Cross been? Where the hell's Cash Carter been? Maybe see them for a split second compared to the screen time that Jason's been getting. And then you see Dark Kron on there and Matthew Forsaken doing what they got to do. But when it comes to natural selection, there are a couple of kinks. And CJ Black is over here playing chess while Jason's over here trying to play checkers. Look at what just happened this past week. And now we got a new champion, that being CJ Black.
And that's a line that Jason's used on here, and you just used it. I mean, boy, that's certainly rather interesting. And if you are here, and I see a bunch of people here, do me a favor. Go give a sub to Darkron's YouTube channel. Just check it out. Just do it. There's content on there.
Some new stuff on there, too.
Well, you know what? You got plenty of stuff they can watch until then. So go hit the sub button for them, please. And we thank everybody. And also, Princess Jade wanted to say hello to you, Mr. Kron, because she knows you and she knows James Taylor, and she wanted to say hello from Iowa. So greetings, and she will give you a sub as well. So we know she'll definitely do that. But so I guess, we appreciate that all. But so James, I guess right now it's a good time for the first time. Maybe you feel Kron's got this dog gobbler match coming up with Forsaken. You see your maybe plans coming into fruition a little bit. CJ Black is back, and he took the championship, the All Wrestling Matters championship, away from Jason Storm, and Jason Storm is on his heels. So maybe it's a good time now to be where you are, and maybe that's going to help Dark Kron coming up against Matthew Forsaken, and maybe lead him to taking a championship away from somebody like an Alex Cross. We were talking about that. We were talking about Cash Carter. Maybe you're the owner. Maybe a win here from Kron could put Kron back into a title situation, and he can take a championship, and that would further certainly weaken natural selection. What is your thoughts on some of that here as the owner of the company?
Dark Kron's definitely going to get that title back from Alex Cross. I just have this feeling, this gut feeling, that opportunity is going to be coming really soon, Kron. And whenever that opportunity arises, I really hope that you take the opportunity right when it's thrown in front of you. And I know that you'll kick ass and you'll take what's rightfully yours, that being the DKW World title. But not only that, that you get some revenge on your old brother, Matthew Forsaken, because you and him have had a hell of a battle. You've had a hell of a rivalry over the past 2 decades. I've seen it myself. I've studied you. I've watched you. Even though I've known you for just the past couple of years, I feel like I've known you for at least 2 decades, son, because me and you are on the same level. We're over there. We're the same age. We've came up the same way. We've scratched, we clawed to get and fight our way to where we're at today. And we're showing all these young guns what these old timers can really do. And we're not even old. We're just in our prime. Period. We are in our prime. A guy like you who's battled cancer, and you told cancer to kiss your damn ass because you're going to go out there and do exactly what you do best, and that's get that ring in that squared circle, whether it's a 14 by 14, 16 by 16, or an 18 by 18. It doesn't matter if it's the grass, if it's the ground, if it's a carpet, if it's a trampoline, whatever it is, you're going to get in there just like I would, and you're going to do what you do best. But these young guys like Jason just don't understand what it takes to be a superstar in the underground scene.
Champion.
Dark Kron, this is your year. Not only this year, hopefully next year as well. And I promise you, before it's all said and done, natural selection will be done and over with as long as I'm around. As long as I'm breathing air, I will make sure that Jason and the rest of natural selection, you're going to have hell to pay.
But I asked Mr. Kron this question. I asked him this a little while ago. And will we see you this year at ROW? I mean, Mr. Kron wasn't sure. What do you think? I mean, you're the man, owner of the company. I mean, I could ask him, but I figured I'd ask you that.
3 words.
Okay. 3 words.
Never say never.
Boy, I walked right into that one.
I don't
Your
know why
response,
there's a
okay,
question.
man.
Oh, we lost the host. I guess
Oh.
it's Kron's show now.
Well, I said it earlier. Exactly what you said when he asked it.
I will be at ROEW. I guarantee that I will be at ROEW. And when I show up to ROEW, it's going to blow the roof off. And I guarantee that Natural Selection will be pissing their pants because it's going to probably be Dark Kron, CJ Black, maybe even JX will throw in there, and James Taylor. And we're going to go in there and completely demolish Natural Selection. And Jason, I'm sorry, kid. Your time's coming up as far as losing that championship. That's going to be the first thing that cripples you. But then it's going to be a matter of losing everything that you worked for because you haven't really worked for anything. You cheated to get it. You stole it. You
But
backdoored
win's a
everything.
win in this sport. I mean, win's a win. I mean, he's had an amazing run, James. Jason said it. You can't be no other way in saying that he's been the man in the underground the last year. I mean, he's been a 5-time champion.
All got to come to an end sometime.
Well, he had an amazing run. He traveled to other promotions, won and had big victories time and time again.
How can you honor a man who's as disrespectful as Jason is?
Oh,
He
I'm not
disrespected
saying
me,
what he did was
and he
right.
disrespected my family.
I
Not
know, but
only
that I don't agree with. But
no, what kind of man does that?
But from a record standpoint, I agree, but I don't condone what he said on here and elsewhere. Yeah. But from a standpoint of wins and losses and what he did in the ring, a lot of people do feel that his run in the underground was very impressive.
He could have all the accolades he wants. He could be a multiple-time world champion. He could have all the wins, loss record, whatever he wants, and be an outstanding wrestler in the ring and do whatever he needs to do. If he needs to backdoor his way, he needs to cheat his way to a victory. Hell, he might have one good match where he actually does a normal thing and win the match. It doesn't matter what the stats are, Tom. The fact is that a coward son of a bitch like him can sit there 750 miles away and talk all that hot garbage on this screen. But I guarantee you and everybody that if I was this close and I was 750 centimeters from him, he wouldn't say one damn word like that to me because I would knock his ass out, period, and he will never walk again when I get done with him.
You really think that
that's true? It's a fact. It's a straight fact. That Jason Storm's got ass whipping written all over him when I show up there.
So it sounds like to me that Jason Storm wouldn't have the heart. He wouldn't have the gumption.
Ain't got a set big enough.
So all this stuff that's been going on, especially the last few months, leave aside the history, right? But the last few months, if you were there next to him, and certainly that day it'll come, I'm sure, that you show up to the ROEW arena and you and him are face to face.
You want a little proof of the pudding?
You tell me. You're the nemesis.
You look at the last two big guys that decided that they wanted to talk some trash against James Taylor that lived 500 to 700 miles away. They talked all this hot garbage and talked all this trash on James Taylor for a year, 2 years, whatever it was. And then when I showed up, I showed up and I showed them exactly what the nemesis James Taylor's all about. And what have we heard since then? Nothing. Nada. Zip. Because I proved to the world, I proved to them that I ain't somebody that you're just going to tarnish my name and just talk your shit on and act like I'm nothing. Because when I show up, I'm going to swell your little face shut when I get done with you.
And I did like the Yoshi Matsuda line about in a Dom Toretto Fast and Furious voice. That was pretty good. And he'll slam around like the Loki in that one. Yeah, could be great stuff. And I do want to say hello to Jade. And she said her sister Lyric is watching, and she wanted me to show her Felix Jones picture she made. I'm going to do it because she's here in the chat, and I wanted to acknowledge her. So yes, thank you for the very nice picture. We appreciate that. And more pictures, more bracelets. Follow her on X, and we're very appreciative of her being here. Thank you for that.
You made a parsley?
I think it's Felix. I think it's
Oh, is
Felix.
it Felix?
I think it's Felix. Well, maybe it is Pars. I think it looks like I forget. It looks like Felix, but we'll leave it.
They
Listen,
both look the same. Parsley and Felix look the same. So.
Well, they were, well, he was his father for a while, but I'll leave it at that. But I mean, Mr. Connors, I put the camera back up to where Mr. Taylor wanted it to be. You want to talk to James, ask him anything directly before we get to some final words of anything you want to say to the boss? I mean, we've talked a lot about him tonight, and it's good to see him here. And
Yeah,
he knew his plan.
Looking forward to him actually being in ROEW. And when he faces Jason Storm, I'm going to be right there with him, make sure none of this bullshit goes on.
But can you face him and still do your job as the owner? Will the personal beef that you've had with him, will it cloud your judgment as ROEW owner in any way?
I'm not really big on wearing a business suit of any kind, really, Tom. But
I
one
never
thing
saw you
that
with a suit.
me and the board of directors have talked about is that they are granting me at least one night to take the business suit off to deal with Jason Storm, and I will happily, gladly, and acceptably just do it. I will go in there, whether it's one night, I only get to face him in a match, whatever match it is, whatever the board of directors decide, it doesn't matter. Come hell or high water, win, lose, or draw, I am going to make an example out of Jason Storm as an employee of mine. I am going to make an example over Jason Storm as an underground superstar in this industry and show him you do not disrespect me. You do not disrespect anybody in my family. You do not disrespect this industry, period. As long as I'm breathing air, you have to break every bone in my body. Until I quit breathing air, you will always have to deal with me. There's a reason why they call me the Nemesis. There's a reason why they call me the Tyrant King in all of wrestling. And Jason is going to find that out firsthand. I can guarantee it.
I can't wait.
I'll tell you what, I'll say this, James. I will say this, that a lot of people would like to see you and Jason Storm at the very least be side by side in the ring, especially here on this platform. We think about it's over 2 years ago. I go back over 2 years ago, James. You and Jason were on here, mano a mano. We've seen it countless times, all the talk on social media, all the talk on here. I mean, there's an old line, right? Kron's in a dog collar match, but every dog has its day. And James Taylor, maybe that day is coming where that dog has its day.
It's coming for Jason. It ain't coming for me. It's coming for Jason. You don't think I've ever been on the other receiving end of an ass whipping? I've had my ass whipped for almost 3 decades, 27 years on and off, Tom. I say it all the time. It's not just a catchphrase. It's just it's facts.
Since '98, you've been going on strong since '98. It's been an amazing.
5 years ago, I had a guy on TikTok who was doing these wrestling promo schools and stuff, and these companies and shit. And he said, "You ain't no real wrestler. You've never done backyard wrestling. You don't even know what it's like to take a bump." Because I couldn't prove with my VHS tapes until I finally got the digital thing to do that. And now that I've put it on there, everybody shut up, especially guys like him. I have proven to the world that I do. And look at Kron. He's doing the same thing. The guy's been busting his ass since the early 2000s as well.
Kron,
we know what it's like.
And we know what Kron has done to get himself
1999.
Listen, for him to get back into the ring, the shape that he stayed in, listen, it's guys like him that I root for. But I tell you what, James, as a fan, not leave aside being on Sportswire every night, as a fan, I want to see James Taylor show up at least once in the ROEW arena. I want to see that moment. That will be electric. That will be one of those moments when you think about being a fan of the underground, being a fan of this platform. We're going to remember this for a long time. A lot of people,
I think, for you, James.
Go for it.
We just heard a little thing from CJ Black. What would you think of me versus CJ Black in an All Wrestling Matters title match?
I guess who?
CJ Black, champion.
You and CJ?
CJ just offered that.
I mean, if I need to sign off on it to notarize it and approve of it, I'm willing to do that because I'd love to see CJ Black and Dark Kron go at it for the
That was a nice little surprise.
Championship.
I'll tell you what, that would be a 7-star match. By the way, he's a 7-star.
That'd be a 10-star match right there.
I look forward to that. That would be really fun.
Let's sign that up. That'd be one hell of a main event. I had a guy come to me the other day, and he's like, "Did you just see Brock Lesnar return at SummerSlam out of nowhere? Freaked everybody out, like holy shit moment." That'd probably be like what James Taylor would be when he shows up to ROH.
Oh, I think it'll be.
When
I'll tell you what.
Least expects it.
For the underground community and this platform, we think about the last 2.5 years, right? You've been coming on here. Kron's been coming on here. Jason's been on here many times, right? You think about the last 2.5 years on Sportswire, right? You think about the underground wrestling community. I think one of those moments that people would remember for a long time, and they would really look back on that, is James Taylor showing up to the company that really identifies with what he's done, identifies with you being at the top, right? ROEW, you've been running this company now for quite a while, and I think people really, as fans, it would mean more to them than Brock Lesnar coming back to WWE because of what we've seen, the back and forth, the personal war between you and Jason. Yeah. Everything you've done to build ROEW and grow it the last over year. And I think people really, it would mean something. It would mean a lot to see you there in the ROEW arena. And I think people, they're waiting for that moment. I mean, you've done a lot of things in your amazing career, hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. But I think one of those things that people want to see, people talk about Hogan in Montreal. People talk about when Austin came back to WWE at WrestleMania 37. People talk about 38. The Rock coming back a few years ago on Raw. And James Taylor showing up in the ROEW arena. People think about Brett coming back to WWE after the screw job, after over a decade. People can talk about all these different moments in wrestling history, even Bruno Sammartino coming back to WWE. But James Taylor showing up to the ROEW arena and to talk to Jason Storm, that would be a moment everybody, they're waiting for it. They want to know and they hope to see it,
I really don't know if it's going to be a talking segment, if it's going to be anything talking. I think the second that I show up, the first man I'm looking for is a bald son of a bitch with a title belt. And I hope that the cameras are rolling so the world will understand that I'm not there to really do business. I'm there to handle something that's personal. And I probably won't be talking very much if I show up there because I'm going to be so hot about it. But, when I first took over ROEW, if I want to try and get a little sentimental on it, within that past year, yes. I thought my biggest issue was going to be CJ Black. Hell, I definitely didn't expect that it would be Jason. And here it is. Here we are, about a year in, and Jason Storm is the biggest thorn in my side. And I dare say that he's more of a pain in my ass than what AS is.
Well, you know what? I mean, I obviously know who that is, but he certainly is now more humble. But Jason Storm is not humble, and he has his reasons. But I'll tell you what, you should hit that sub button for ROEW because we're on that road to Weekend Warfare. We also know that we've got coming up a big face-off episode very soon, and I'm sure we'll see more coverage from this. And James Taylor is not beefing with Soulja, Justin Parsley, and Darkron. He is focused right now on one thing, that is Jason Storm. That's who he's got a beef with. He's got no beef with anybody else. The only beef that he has right now, James Taylor, is with Jason Storm.
Beef with me.
Well, that was news to me, but with the beef, I think she's obviously thinking maybe because you didn't come on the stream earlier and we kind of built it up to you showing up. So it was kind of fun. It was kind of funny. So we had a trick up our sleeve, but no, Jason Storm is the one beefing with James Taylor. James Taylor's got no beefs with anybody else right now in the underground wrestling circuit. And it's going to come to a head one day. When I said every dog has its day, that could be coming up. But I know one thing also, ladies and gentlemen, Dark Kron is going to have his moment coming up with his brother, Matthew Forsaken, at Weekend Warfare. He's also going to be a part of ROEW's coverage leading into that. Please support ROEW. If you're a fan of any other company out there, you must support ROEW. Follow them on Instagram, TikTok, buy the merchandise. Please support ROEW. Please support everybody in that company. We love ROEW. And of
Report
course,
ROEW or Kron's going to give you a chronic kick. You better watch it.
we don't want that. We do not want that. But, I know you guys are busy, men, but is there anything else you guys want to say
Did he
before
have
we
a
get to
question for me?
Kron's question was about the All Wrestling Matters
Oh,
Championship.
just that one. Okay.
Would you
I
grant-
didn't know
yeah.
Do you have any other questions for me or anything else you want me to know, Kron?
Just know I got your back, and I'm looking forward to you showing up here. And when you do, I'll
I
be there.
sure hope that she would be in my corner. I don't.
100%.
The old me would say I don't need anybody. I mean, technically, pridefully, I don't need anybody in my corner. But I will not deny your support in
It's
my
not-
corner, despite whatever I'm doing, Kron. If you want to
It's
see
not the
there,
faith
if you
in
want
you.
a front row ticket to see me beat the living hell out of Jason, then by all means, come down ringside.
It's not the lack of faith in you. It's just the dirty deeds I know that he has and the numbers that he has. I've dealt with it all before. So if I can be of any help, I'm there.
But the numbers game, listen, we found right now natural selection for the first time is on their heels a little bit. Jason
True,
Ross,
but in
CJ.
this chat, we've already had two of them come at us.
True. That is true too. But we know right now in the ROEW arena that things are starting to change a little bit. Jason Storm is human a little bit.
CJ Black sent it into motion.
You guys beat him in that. You beat them in that 6-man tag we saw. We haven't seen in the ring Alex Cross and Cash Carter since. We know Jacob Collins a few months back defeated Cash Carter for that Prestige Championship, and you get a win here.
Congratulations, Jacob. I haven't got to say that since you won.
I hope he's doing well, and I hope he's out there. And
I mean, the first. He was the first crack.
Yeah.
Natural selection, and
But
nobody's talking about it. Nobody's bringing it
maybe I guess you could say before we get to closing thoughts, maybe Jason going and defending championships and wrestling in other places, maybe that's caught up to him a bit. Maybe the travel, maybe the grind. He's wrestled a lot these last few months, and you think that's caught up to him, James, or it's his mouth can't cash the checks anymore?
He needs to be worrying more about ROEW than worrying about going to some other ring and trying to wrestle and defend the championship, because I never gave the say-so that he's doing it. He just does it on his own free will. But hey, more power to him to go and try and make a name for himself. But you see, sometimes to understand if all that time and investment that I've put into ROEW and a little bit of my time and investment that I've put into somebody like Jason Storm, sometimes you got to take a step back, look at what you got that investment into, and let the pressure really sink in and see if it turns into dust, which it seems like Jason Storm is cracking, or if that's going to turn into a diamond. That investment's going to turn into one of the biggest diamonds in this industry. I'm not saying Jason's not a diamond. I'm not saying that he is a diamond. But in order for him to really understand how this business works, he's got to have all that pressure on top of him. And I feel like with Jacob Collins winning the Prestige title and now CJ Black taking the All Wrestling Matters world title or whatever the hell it was, and I dare say, if not, I predict the future that Dark Kron is going to take the DKW title back. I think the foundations of natural selection and Jason Storm is cracking, and it's going to turn into one big dust ball because there's no diamond there.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot to be said that certainly James Taylor has come on here, and maybe it is the right time. Maybe right now, coming up in the future, they've got him right where they want him. They always say it all the time. Everything happens for a reason. karma comes back. I don't know that to be true, but if you look at what's happened these last few weeks, Jason Storm losing the All Wrestling Matters Championship, the lack of anybody seeing what Alex Cross and Cash Carter have been up to, certainly that may have contributed to certain things. I don't know. But I know one thing coming up. We've got Weekend Warfare, and Dark Kron's going to be in action, and the start to his road to redemption can certainly happen with a big victory here. And every dog has its day moment. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Dark Kron, the underground OG, could very well get himself a huge
Big dogs
victory
walking out.
and get back on track and get a victory and maybe challenge for a championship, win a championship, and go on to do the things that he knows best in his amazing legendary career.
Take CJ up on that offer.
You beat Forsaken coming up in Weekend Warfare. Yeah, I tell you what, we're here talking about that match, God willing, in a few weeks, a month from now, and I think Copper Dragon's on his way to reviewing that, and you could.
But I need to get a victory first.
You got to get that victory. But I learned one thing: James Taylor, he's inching closer. It seems he is inching closer to a date with destiny, to showing up to the ROEW arena and finally confronting Jason Storm in what has been over 2 years in the making, but has really been brewing over these last 3 months. And boy, it has been one of the most personal feuds right now in the underground. We have heard James Taylor's wife been mentioned. We have heard family thrown out there. We have seen the jabs, and that time might be coming. And maybe that's catching up to Jason Storm. I don't know. Maybe that's catching up to Natural Selection, but we're going to find out here very, very soon. That's why you have to support ROEW and all their social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, TeePublic Store, and please support the legendary Underground OG Dark Kron on Instagram. Check him out on Facebook, YouTube, Dark Chronicles, James Taylor, and all his social medias. And I think we've talked enough, and that's why I'm passing the baton off to you, Mr. Kron, for some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? Take it away, good sir.
You mentioned EWA earlier. You're coming
on. Yeah, EWA. Hubie Jenkins, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday night. Yep.
You remember I shouted them out a few months ago?
Yeah.
Give them a little shout out on here.
Yeah, give them a shout out.
And just so everybody knows, I've talked to them. And the reason I'm pushing them or trying to put them out there is to get eyes on them and everything, because they are a good product.
Yes, I've watched some of it, actually. Yeah, I watched some of it. I'm a little familiar.
They're entertaining. They're safe. They're easy to get along with. And I'm hoping to make my presence known there, maybe.
Oh, presence known. Maybe you want to.
Maybe I'll get in touch. Maybe I'll swing by.
Oh, that's nice of you. Maybe show up. Maybe give him some feedback.
Maybe I'll talk to him Thursday and we'll see.
Oh, well, you know what? 9:30, Mr. Jenkins is here. I mean, he's here 9:30, and I mean, you're the Underground OG. I mean, you built the platform, so if you're around, I mean, swing by.
To think about. And I've talked to a few people out here. Yeah. You too, Tom. You know, I'm 40, almost 42 years old, and I think I'm probably about done.
Maybe done. You got Forsaken at Weekend Warfare. You got
not anytime soon. I'm talking maybe next year.
Nah.
Next year. I'm just.
It ain't so.
I kind of want to put it out there. I've already talked to like the ones closer to me, but like I do want it out there because there are a lot of matches I still want to have.
All right.
But probably next summer is going to be my last.
So we're going to go on the Cena farewell tour, kind of like the Dark Kron farewell tour, maybe?
Sure, I'm no John Cena, but...
No, in this underground circuit, you damn well are John Cena. You better not turn heel like Cena did, because then I'm going to certainly retract some of my statements about you.
Well, I'm never going to be completely done.
Well...
Like, committing to, like, doing stuff every week and then, like, trying... It's just a lot for me at the moment. and then with everything piling. So it's just kind of like
I talk about what the band guys. Listen, the Great White Guys. They quoted my interview yesterday, and they are 70 almost, and they're playing like every 2-3 times a week. And they're like, "Well, when are you going to be done?" And they're like, "Well, I mean, there comes a point. I mean, Phil Lewis of LA Guns, they're playing 100 times in a year, and they're like in their late 60s, but they're like, we don't know anything else. I mean, I hate to bring him up, but Ozzy just died, and well, he played his last show 2 weeks before he died, and he kept trying to retire, and well,
Ozzy's out of everything that happened that week, Ozzy was the one that fucked with me the most.
Yeah, Ozzy. You know what? I got to be honest. I'm still not over Ozzy's death.
Yeah, I still watch everything about Ozzy. Was a very deep connection, like thing to me with me and my dad and everything growing up like that. Yeah, the whole Hulkster thing, but there's a lot of like,
Hogan was a tough one, but Ozzy's death to me was like, I mean, it hit.
Ozzy was this more personal. I don't know. I just felt more connected with Ozzy, and Hulk. It just didn't. Maybe it's because of the Hulk Hogan is not Terry, so it's not.
Yeah, I think Ozzy. Listen, if you played in a band, you were into music. Ozzy he touched a lot of people. Ozzy touched that, everyone.
But it's more of like. And this is probably, I don't know, this is definitely probably not liked by many people, but Hulk Hogan didn't really do a lot for me, ever.
No, I mean, listen, there's a lot of people. I mean, James had his things to say. I mean, AS certainly said his things, but you asking me, listen, I've had the heavy metal bands that played with Ozzy. So to me, I'm touched by Ozzy a lot more, and I got to be honest.
That's just me personally, but
yeah.
I am not going to be the one out here disrespecting Hulk Hogan. I'm not going to bury Hulk Hogan, and I'm not going to
there's no
anything negative to anybody that is like supporting him. That's fine.
Oh, he was generational, absolutely.
Yeah, and you can't take away what he done. It's fine, but I'm just more affected by Ozzy than Hulk Hogan. That was my.
Yeah, I mean Ozzy. I listen. I had an Ozzy Osbourne T-shirt. I bought his music.
I music like
I bought his music. In my household everybody was with Black Sabbath. Like I remember my dad buying Ozzy albums and sitting there on the CD player and listening to it. So Ozzy, I had No More Tears on cassette. I had the Ozman Cometh on cassette. Listen, I had Randy Rhoads Tribute. I bought it. I was in Connecticut. I got my first job with my uncle, and I listened to that for like a week straight for a summer. So I got many. Listen, I've had these bands on that played with Ozzy, so I get the whole thing with Ozzy, But look, it's a tough thing. But we're gonna have the Dark Kron farewell tour. Maybe that starts with Matthew Forsaken. Maybe it continues with CJ Black, and I'm gonna now. But the next time you come back on, maybe think that you have matches you haven't had yet. Justin Parsley's on that list, and maybe James Taylor's on that list since he's showing up to the ROEW arena there. If you're on the Dark Kron farewell tour, similar to Cena.
Well, here's the other thing is to top off the whole farewell tour thing.
Yeah.
I got a 20-foot ring, and I think I'm going to hold an event.
You've done those before a couple times. You were pretty good at those.
Well, this is going to be a bigger ring, and it's going to be a real ring. So
maybe I'm going to ask QB Jenkins about you Thursday. Maybe since you're on the farewell tour, I'm going to ask. I know you're Underground OG. You'll probably stop by, but I'm asking QB Jenkins about you. Just saying.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I heard. I spoke to him.
I talked to him for a brief moment.
Yeah, sounds like two of us have some things in common.
I look forward to Thursday.
But me too, actually.
Basically, what I want to do is I wanted to get out there. I want to wrestle people I have never wrestled before. There are a lot of names out there. James Taylor, number one, of course. D'Angelo the Flame. There's Justin Parsley.
Yes.
And there's CJ Black. Believe it or not, never wrestled him.
Yes.
We might get that sooner than later.
Yes, and also Jade wanted to show Jason Storm in his element being Jason Storm.
He has great fan interactions. Like he knows how to work that crowd.
Well, apparently
nobody likes him. That's why.
Yeah, he's a big asshole, so he works great.
I'm saying no comment on that. But thank
Belly
you, Jay, for
brick. That's
showing
what he
that.
is.
But that's a great boy. Now I'm going to be thinking about this list, the Kron list here. We're going to think about that farewell list. I want it to be like better than Cena's list.
I don't know. He's got Brock now.
How about Jack Delta on that list?
I would like a one-on-one with Jack. I've already wrestled Jack, but I would like to
one-on-one. I knew you were the triple threat with him, but one-on-one. I mean, listen, James is the owner. I think he's still contractually obligated to ROEW. I don't know.
Take your time, Jack. Get healed up.
All right, fair enough. Well, we'll talk a lot more of that, and we'll add this to your arsenal. I'll give this to you when you're off the air. And very memorable episode, to say the least. And James, I'm going to give you the last word tonight. Anything else you'd like to plug, share, or say? And definitely a lot to ponder and a lot to look forward to. And that day seems to be coming where every dog has its day. And it seems like that day, sir, would be you and Jason Storm finally standing mano a mano in the ROEW arena, which is why I give you, sir, the last word tonight.
Yeah. Without getting overly sentimental, I'll talk about it for a quick second. It'd be an honor to step into the ring with you, Dark Kron, and have a one-on-one contest, win, lose, or draw. I just know that we would tear the house down.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be an honor to share the ring with you, and that will happen. And, I mean, who's to say that next year would be your last year, because I'm the same age and I feel like I got at least 5 or 10 more in me. I could be bluffing, but that's how I feel physically, but that's me.
Yeah.
You might feel differently than what I do. Hey, the part-time gig is not as bad as people say, because it gives your body time to heal. And then when you get
Exactly.
that ring, you can go like anybody's business.
Like I said,
But,
full time. Full
I
time.
mean, if I'm in ROEW a whole
Full-time.
lot more, that might motivate you. Maybe if I can motivate you more to want to stay longer, who knows? Anything can happen. Never say never in this business.
That's your line, James.
That is my line, and I am making it famous, so it's going to be trademarked very soon.
You have it on
NVM,
a
so
shirt.
just check it out. It'll be on a new James Taylor hat coming up really, really soon. Stay tuned. But besides the merchandise and all that other crap, I'm going to end it with this, Tom, because I'd rather the son of a bitch be right here and I tell him in his face, because I'm just that. Every time we talk about ROEW, I love the product. It's my baby now. ROEW is my company, and I've taken it to where it's at. And it's not just me; it's these guys right here, like Dark Kron, like CJ Black, like Matthew Forsaken, like JX,
Like Alex
Cash Carter.
Cross, like Cash Carter.
There you go. Not
Oh.
Jason though.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Touche.
But you know what? It doesn't matter if I say something here and then Jason Storm goes on to ROEW television and he talks his trash and he says what he says. Then he goes over to this other company a couple of states away and he wins some random title and mentions my name on their TV. It's just, no matter what it is, it's constantly going to go in a circle. And I'm tired of it. Jason, this is it. If I got to tell you anything, because I know you're too much of a coward to come on here and talk to me face to face. You said on the broadcast, the premiere season of ROEW, when we had the new stage, that you wasn't going to go into Sportswire Radio and say anything anymore. Look in my eyes and understand that this is going around in a circle and I'm done with it. This isn't about business anymore. It's personal. That's why whenever I show up to ROEW, Jason Storm, I'm not even going to call you Storm anymore. I'm just going to call you by your first name, because that's what you said you was going to do with me. And you want to make it personal, then it's personal. That's why when I show up to ROEW, you are going to step into the ring. No disqualifications. Anything goes with me. Not the businessman, not the owner of ROEW, not the multiple-time world champion, not the nemesis. Quite frankly and quite simply, just a man. A man that you insulted, and a man, I promise you, is going to kick your fucking ass.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen. James Taylor is like we've never seen him before on this platform. We've seen him a lot over the last 2.5 years. We have seen him time and time again, but this is different. Ladies and gentlemen, this is more than personal. It's a war between him and Jason Storm. And the only way that this war ends is if James Taylor gets his hands on the ROEW Underground Champion, the Puppet Master, Jason Storm. And it seems like, as I keep saying, every dog has its day, and that dog's day is coming. And it seems like James Taylor is inching one step closer to finally meeting Jason Storm. Time will certainly tell. Please follow ROEW on all social media platforms. James Taylor is also on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and yes, he definitely slayed there. And I want to remind everybody coming up here, we have an episode of Face Off this Friday. Please check that out on the ROEW YouTube page. Also, Weekend Warfare is coming up and confirmed already. The Underground OG, the legendary Darkron, is going to be in action in a dog collar match against his brother, Matthew Forsaken. Boy, I can't wait for that. Also, more matches to be announced. James is going to certainly be announcing plenty of those matches on here soon. Also, this coming Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Hubie Jenkins of the EWA. And Mr. Kron's already said he'll be tuning into that one. And I'm sure he will. And also, before we sign off, he has gone into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame once again. This is like the 5th time he's in there. So he's catching up to Justin Parsley. So, yeah, he definitely deserved it. And he did kind of slip in there that we're starting the farewell tour for the Underground OG starting at Weekend Warfare. So a lot to process. We'll be here tomorrow. Stay tuned for the guest. It's supposed to be a big one, but I don't want to say anything until I can get it confirmed. But it'll be big. Someone who hasn't been here in a while, like Mr. Kron. But we'll see. Time will tell. But, fellas, definitely a lively one as usual. I look forward to it. Mr. Kron, I can't wait to get you back on here, certainly after Weekend Warfare, and get us ready for more ROEW action. And certainly maybe even you two meeting very, very soon. And Justin Parsley, he'll be on next Thursday, I'm hoping, because we have all the IMF gang next Thursday, and maybe even somebody sooner. I think, well, he's the hall monitor. That's what I say about him. But I know one thing, definitely there's no hall monitor needed right now because James Taylor is just going to push aside everybody, including almost the entire ROEW roster, to square off with Jason Storm. We'll have to see. But, fellas, thank you as always. Mr. Kron, congratulations once again on being in the Hall of Fame. We'll see if you can get things back on track. I have a feeling now after hearing you tonight and hearing James that you are going to be back on track, and maybe even some matches in sight with, I don't know, maybe one CJ Black, a dream match that could be on that list for the farewell tour. But, fellas, thank you so much, and we'll see you very soon. All right, and that would be next Thursday. It's next Thursday, Justin Parsley, because this Thursday is Hubie Jenkins. She thought that is this Thursday. It's next Thursday. Okay. Because all that war is next
All Out Warfare is next weekend.
Yeah, great. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally with all music and wrestling matters. If you're here, please follow these two great men and their companies, certainly ROEW, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station, that is Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling